So we saw Akrura bringing Krishna and Balaram to Mathura. We saw the beautiful darshan that Akrura got in the waters of Yamuna, and then the prayers he offered to Krishna. Then they make their way slowly to Mathura because they are coming on the main road, it is said, in the chariot, in the official chariot of Kamsa. So everywhere along the way, they are stopped by people because the word spreads that a very beautiful, radiant two brothers are coming to the capital. So they are seen everywhere, and their march to Mathura is very slow. They reach by evening. Meanwhile, as we remember, Nanda with all the cowherd boys, he went by bullock carts and he went faster actually because they took a short route. They reached before them to Mathura. And then after reaching Mathura, Akrura asks Krishna and Balaram to come to his house. He says, please come into our house. First, grace our house with your lotus feet, because people like us, householders who are caught in any kind of attachments, who are caught in all these responsibilities, our house is sanctified by the lotus feet of yours touching it. Therefore, please come and place your lotus feet. He says, Naham bhavadbyam rahitaha pravakshe mathuram prabho tyaktum na arhasi mam nata bhaktam te bhakta vatsala. He beautifully says, O bhakta vatsala, you are always dear to the devotees. You have already blessed me with this vision. And now he says, I cannot be without you. Naham bhavadbyam rahitaha. I cannot enter Mathura without you. So please come with me and grace my house. And please come with your brother Balaram Saha Agrajaha Sagopalaihi Sahridbihi Sahuttamaha. So he says, because all the Gopalas, that is all the Gopas, the cowherd boys, have all come there with Nanda as we saw. So they've all reached that garden outside Mathura where Nanda is camped with all the Gopas, and the chariot has reached there. So now Akrura prays to Krishna to come along with not only Balaram but with all the Gopas to his house. So he says, Deva Deva Jagannatha Punya Shravana Kirtana Yaduttama Uttama Shloka Narayana Namostute. He beautifully addresses Krishna as Jagannatha. Hey Jagannath, the beautiful form of Jagannath, which he later takes in Puri. That name is beautifully used here. Hey Jagannatha, Hey Narayana, please come. Krishna assures him, Krishna says, I have to first finish the job for which I have come to Mathura, because Krishna has come to Mathura to remove the reign of Kamsa. So he doesn't want to have any hospitality before that. So he honors the prayer of Akrura and he says, right after I finish Kamsa's reign, I do the Vada of Kamsa, I'll come to your house. Right now, you go to your house. We have already been so happy spending the day with you. Please go to your house and also report to Kamsa that we have arrived, and we'll meet in the wrestling arena. And as soon as the job is finished, I'll come to your house. So with this assurance, he sends off Akrura, and then they rest for the night, Krishna and Balaram along with Nanda and all the boys. The next morning, before anything is started, it is said that both Krishna and Balaram are very eager to look at Mathura and look at the town and look at all the arrangements. Their first time, as we can recall, coming to this city of Mathura. So they've been only in Vrindavan, Gokul and Vrindavan and Govardhan, all these beautiful places. They've never come to the city so far. So in a very beautiful way, they say, let's go and look at the city, as any two young boys would do. But of course, Krishna and Balaram are so special, and their radiance is spreading before them. So just the very word of two radiant young boys walking the streets, it is said, spreads like wildfire in Mathura. So as Krishna and Balaram simply walk the streets, news spreads that there are these two divine looking beings. We don't know who they are, but they are looking so radiant, so divine, so effulgent. Let's take a look. So, everyone in Mathura, it is said, drop whatever they are doing to come and look at Krishna. As the streets they walk by, those who are taking a bath stop in the middle to come out and just see. Those who are cooking stop the cooking in the middle. Those who are cleaning anything, they are, so everyone gets the news. They are saying these two boys are very special. Let's look. So the whole streets are lined up. The windows are lined up with women who are all curious to see the most handsome two young princes who are walking. So in this way, the entire Mathura is already the very first day seeing a great flutter with these waves of Ananda. It is said, Ananda Murtim Upagraha Drisha Atmalabdham. So, just as people have realized their own true nature, they looking at Krishna and Balaram makes them feel as happy as realizing their own self, because they are indeed non different from the pure self. So, everyone looks at Krishna and Balaram with such happiness. So, in this way, they proceed. And then along the way, Krishna meets with a first with a washerman. So there are two, three people Krishna meets, and each is very instructive. First, Krishna meets a washerman, but this washerman is a servant of Kamsa, and he is carrying very beautiful clothes for Kamsa and for the people in the palace. So Krishna and Balaram look at this washerman and look at these clothes, and they say, "You have very beautiful clothes. Will you spare two for us?" This washerman looks at Krishna and Balaram, unlike the other residents of Mathura, because he is loyal to only Kamsa. He not only refuses to give the clothes to Krishna, but he abuses Krishna and Balaram. He says, you boys, I heard I've come from the village and you don't even know the value of these clothes. These are all royal clothes. You don't deserve any of this. Just go away." And when he hears this, Krishna looks at him and just places his fingertips on the washerman, and the washerman is instantly killed. So here the instructive lesson is, if whatever one possesses as wealth, as talents, as any kind of skills, anything, it all belongs to Bhagavan. So the symbolism here is everything is meant to be offered to Bhagavan. Whatever we have is only useful as an offering to Bhagavan by serving everyone with our skills, whether we have good talents, wealth, any other qualities. If we refuse to offer it and only want to enjoy it ourselves, then it will only lead to destruction. So the washerman did not offer what he had to Bhagavan, and therefore he was destroyed. On the other hand, after that, Krishna goes to a flower man's house. His name is Sudama. And in this florist, his house, as soon as he goes, he, on the other hand, is someone who also makes flowers for the royal palace and for all the various decorations in Mathura. But as soon as he goes, he sees Krishna and Balaram come to his house. He welcomes them. He immediately recognizes the divinity of these two beings, and therefore he gives them the high seat. And then he says, "I'm so blessed that such two radiant beings have come to my place. What can I do for you?" And then Krishna and Balaram don't even say anything, but he says, "I will offer the best flowers I have got." Whatever flowers he picks every day, he makes the garlands out of them. But the best possible flowers with which he has made the best garlands, he offers one to Krishna and one to Balaram. So this is the way, the opposite of the washerman. So he also has this talent, this skill. He works for the palace, and yet he realizes that whatever is best has to be offered first to Bhagavan. He recognizes the divinity and immediately offers it without even being asked. And in fact, this is the way of service, is that he is not even waiting to be asked. The washerman, neither did he offer on his own, nor did he even offer when asked. So that's how one set of people, or he represents those who are very possessive, selfish, and do not even offer when asked to Bhagavan. And on the other hand, the other extreme is the florist who offers without even being asked. He was just his presence, immediately he offered the best flowers he had. So Krishna and Balaram were mightily pleased with him, and they asked him, "What boon do you want? Whatever you want, we'll offer you." And this florist, who was so elevated, he beautifully asked, "I only want devotion to Bhagavan, and I want only close association with his devotees and compassion for all." Such a beautiful prayer coming from this florist. He says, Bhaktim tasmin eva akhilatmani tad bhakteshu cha sauhardam bhuteshu cha dayam param. So these are the three prayers that Bhagavatam has said before too, and this florist Sudama beautifully captures it. This is why again it's always said in Bhagavatam through many stories, many instances, that textual knowledge or no scriptural knowledge or scholarship, none of that is essential for the heart to flower. They can be of great aid, but they can also be an obstacle. Whereas the heart can flower regardless of that. So this florist who is uneducated, who is not aware of any scholarship, any shastras, yet his heart was so pure, he first offered the best he had to Krishna and Balaram. And when he was given the opportunity to ask for a boon, he didn't ask for wealth, he didn't ask for any kind of material opulence of any kind. He beautifully said, "Give me devotion to Bhagavan, Bhaktim Akhilatmani, in the self of all, in the universal Lord, give me devotion. Tad Bhakteshu cha Sauhardam, and whoever is already devoted to him, give me close friendship with them. Bhuteshu Dayam Param." And then for all other living entities who are not recognizing this truth, who are not in devotion, who are not unconditionally surrendered but still caught in me and mine, towards them give me supreme compassion, Dayam Param. And this was, of course, granted to this florist Sudama. And this way, Krishna and Balaram walk through the streets, and then they proceed further. And then it is said that as they proceed further, they also see a hunchback woman. She is called Kubja. Kubja means a hunchback woman. She's actually she could be a very beautiful woman, but she is hunchback. She is got three deformities. That's why she is called Trivakra. You also may have heard of Ashtavakra, who is a great sage. Because he had 8 deformities, he was called Ashtavakra. Here she has 3 deformities, so she is called Trivakra. And this Trivakra also, she carries sandal pastes for the royal palace. And again, when Krishna approaches her and says, "What are you doing?" She says, "I carry sandal paste for the palace." And then Krishna says again very innocently, "Will you give some for us?" And then she immediately offers the best sandal paste to both Krishna and Balaram. So again, Krishna is very pleased, and he instantly, what he does is he goes close to her, puts his big toe on top of her foot, and then touches his finger on her chin and just lifts her chin up while pressing her foot down. And all the 3 deformities are instantly removed. And she becomes a very beautiful young woman again. So she is so happy to see this great miracle. Everyone around sees this miracle in Mathura, and the word spreads even more that these boys are divine. He instantly made this Trivakra into a beautiful woman. She is so captivated, enchanted by Krishna, and she says, "Please come to my house. I want to offer you my hospitality. You are the first man who has seen me in this way and restored my beauty. Please come to my house." And Krishna smiles at her and says, "We accept your hospitality, but again, we cannot come now. After some time, after our main job here is done, I'll come." So she is also assured. And then Krishna proceeds. There is a bow sacrifice that is being done. next to the wrestling arena, and there is a giant bow that's kept very similar to the Shiva Dhanush that is kept that Ram breaks in Ramayana. Here also a big Dhanush, a huge bow is kept as a display. And in this bow sacrifice that they are doing a puja for this bow, which is humongous. And Krishna and Balaram walk there and very nonchalantly go, and the bow which is carried by so many men, which is so heavy, they simply effortlessly take the bow, lift it, and generate a twang out of the bow, which creates a sound like a thunderbolt, and it reaches the ears of Kamsa in the palace nearby, it is said. So Kamsa, who's already afraid because Akrura has told him that Krishna and Balaram are here, and while he has made all his master plans to kill Krishna and Balaram, in the heart of hearts, he is afraid because he knows deep within that his end is nearing. So when he hears the sound of the bow, he is feeling further fear in his heart, and it strikes terror in him, and he is afraid. Meanwhile, the gods in the bow sacrifice who are supposed to protect the bow, they all try to come and attack Krishna and Balaram. And of course, very effortlessly, Krishna and Balaram kill all of them and send this message thereby. So everyone who is unable to defend, who see the power of Krishna and Balaram, they go running to the palace and they report to Kamsa that some two boys, two young men have come. They not only lifted the bow, but they also killed anyone who tried to prevent them. So now Kamsa is certain that these have to be the two boys that Narada told him about. So his terror is only increasing as the evening approaches. And meanwhile, Krishna and Balaram walk and they see the wrestling arena, which is also decorated for the next day wrestling match. And they see all the arrangements. They are very curious. Thereby, they have got a beautiful tour of the city. They've already performed many wondrous acts. Their name has spread already like wildfire in the whole of city. They've seen the wrestling arena, and now they retire back to the same camp in the garden outside the city. Meanwhile, Kamsa, having heard this news and having heard the twang of the bow that reaches his ears, he is unable to sleep that night. He is filled with terror, he is filled with fear, and he is just awaiting the next morning, thinking he will somehow, through all the arrangements he has made, the elephant Kuvalaya Pida or the wrestlers Mushtika and Chanura, through any of them, he will kill somehow Krishna and Balaram and protect himself. Meanwhile, Krishna and Balaram, fully aware of his plans because all these have been shared by Akrura to him. They know about the massive elephant, they know about the wrestlers, they know about the wrestling arena. Now they have seen that in person too. Having seen everything, they look at each other knowingly smiling about the silly plans of Kamsa and how tomorrow is going to be a special day for not only them, all of Mathura, and in fact their own parents Vasudeva and Devaki also, and everyone else. So with this beautiful expectant smile, they retire for the night.